Welcome back, Tri-Fi fans. Today on Classic Chevy Revival, we're delving into the world of the vehicle identification numbers and the Cowl Tags. I'm your host, Kevin, and buckle up for an informative ride as we uncover the hidden stories behind these essential components in the restoration journey. Get ready to decode the past and breathe new life into our classic Chevys. This is Classic Chevy Revival, where we drive and revive the legacy of iconic automobiles. If you've ever seen a 55 to 57 classic Chevy and wondered what its original specifications were, well, there's one way to find out for certain. Just examine the VIN plate and the trim tag. These two pieces of metal were riveted onto the body of all Tri-5 Chevy vehicles, and each one provides some valuable information on the way they looked when they left the GM assembly line back in the 50s. The VIN, otherwise known as the Vehicle Identification Number tag, is located on the driver's door front pillar post. It's made of stainless steel and riveted in place. Although hard to see, Chevrolet also had the vehicle identification number stamped on the frame, and it's roughly below the driver's seat on the top of the outer frame rail in the rocker area. And it's stamped twice in two different locations, and they're about a foot apart. So let's say your car's VIN was 57 K as in King 1 2 3 4 5 6 on the frame. Well, the VC doesn't appear on the frame number. Feel the top of the frame rail in that area, and you'll feel the depressions where the numbers are stamped. The VIN may be 10 or 11 characters long. The letter V before the first digit is the 11th character and denotes a V8 engine in the 55 through 57 cars. For cars originally equipped with a 6-cylinder engine, the V that was omitted, and the VIN would only be 10 characters long rather than 11. And also, each plant used their own sequence numbers and usually started with number 001001 for the 1955 and 1956 years and 10001 for 1957. This number then became the car's serial number. Also, you'd be very lucky if all the stamped digits were in alignment. On some of the VC, B, or C cars, they're not aligned, and it's like they were stamped on after the sequential number was. When it comes to finding out your car's factory options and features, the best place to start is the VIN plate and the trim tag. In most cases, these two stampings, they won't provide every piece of information you want, but it's easily accessible and can sometimes reveal some cool details. If you want the car's full history, other documentation like a build sheet and a protective plate are needed. But those items are often long gone, and on average Chevy, finding a build sheet hidden in the interior or on top of the gas tank is like finding buried treasure. The 1955-57 Chevy VIN decoder is very simple. Just look on the left front door hinge pillar posts for a VIN plate and copy that number. And you can look up your VIN and trim numbers on our website, ClassicChevyRevival.com, for your Tri-5, and we have also the codes for the original specs and the date your car was produced. And you can find that on our Check Your Vehicle Identification Number page on our website. So looking at this slide, under the letter A, it's a V8 model. So in addition to the series and model identification letter, models originally equipped with a 6-cylinder engine do not feature this V at the beginning of the VIN. Looking at letter B, the series and model, the second letter in the VIN sequence is the series and model identification digit. Each series received a unique letter. Note that the sedan delivery was designated under a separate VIN series and was actually advertised as part of Chevrolet Task Force truck line rather than its passenger car line. Unlike traditional wagons such as the Handyman, the Townsman, the Beauville, and the Nomad, which had a split clamshell style upper door and lower tailgate, while the sedan Delivery had a unique one-piece rear door that was hinged at the top, and it's much like a modern hatchback. Looking at letter C, the model year, the first set of numbers in the VIN sequence, that represents the model year of the vehicle. 55, of course, would indicate 1955, 56 indicates 1956, and of course 1957 would be indicated by a 57. Looking at the letter D, the assembly plant, the final letter of the VIN represents the assembly plant at which the vehicle was built. Between 1955 and 57, 10 primary assembly plants manufactured passenger cars. Oakland, California used the plant code O, which can sometimes cause confusion with the sequence number, especially in the 55 and 56 models where the sequence begins with a 0. Now let's take a look at letter E, the production number. The production number sequence represents the basic serial number given at the assembly line. And like I said earlier, the 6-digit long sequence began with 001001 in the 55 and 56 years, while in 57 the sequence began with 100001. And each plant used their own unique sequence numbers. So let's move on to the cowl tag, which is made from aluminum and riveted to the firewall in the engine compartment. The 1955-57 Chevy cowl tags, or trim plates, were attached to the right-hand side of the cowl panel as you look out of the vehicle on the firewall in the engine compartment. There were two positions for the 57 tag. For the first design, it is on the cowl toe panel, and for the second design, it's located under the heater control valve inside the engine compartment. And the plates represented a vehicle's most basic body characteristics by Fisher Body, who were the Coach Works contracted to build vehicles for the Chevrolet Motor Division. The cowl tag provides invaluable information to the car's original paint color, interior color, and material, and the location of the plant at which the vehicle was built. Looking at letter A, the model year code, as with the VIN, these two digits represent the model year of the vehicle. 55 indicates 1955, and so on. Looking at letter B, the model identification code, the second set of digits in the style number code represents the style of the vehicle's bodywork. And within this code, the first two numbers represent the series identification. 10 for 210 or Bel Air, 12 indicating a 150 series. The last two numbers represent the bodywork style of the vehicle. And a detailed list can be found, once again, on our website, ClassicChevyRevival.com. And note, up to 2 letters can also be found after the 4 numbers. A D, as the first letter, represents a Bel Air series model, while an F in either location, that represents a station wagon model. So example would be 1062DF, that can be identified as a Bel Air 4-door wagon. Looking at letter C now, the assembly plant code, this is a combination of 2 codes. A letter representing the assembly plant location and a sequence number. And the numbers after the assembly plant code provide a sequence number indicating the specific assembly plant sequence or rotation number. Remember that these should not be confused with the VIN sequence. Looking now at letter D, the interior trim code, this 3-digit number represents the interior color and materials for a given vehicle. Codes and patterns are different for each year, but color combinations may cross over. Let's look at letter E, the paint color code. The paint color code represented in 3 numbers, the exterior paint colors and their locations on the vehicle. 2-tone paint schemes were available from 55 to 57, and because of this, separate codes were offered for each color combination. From 1956 to 57, a letter would sometimes follow the 3-digit code, and A would represent a single paint color, and a B, C, D, or E represented a two-tone paint scheme. Looking now at letter F, the vehicle options, if a particular vehicle was to be built with optional equipment, the codes for these extras would be stamped below the exterior paint color code area. However, even vehicles with options sometimes did not have a stamping on the cowl tag. Minor options, they weren't included or indicated on the cowl tag, but major options such as air conditioning, padded dash, power windows, power seats, and tinted glass, those were included. So I hope you enjoyed a quick look at the VIN numbers, what they mean, and the cowl tag. So as we wrap up this episode on VINs and cowl tags, we want to express our gratitude to all of you for joining us on this journey. Remember, every number tells a story, and by decoding these vital elements, we ensure that the legacy of these classic Chevys live on. And don't forget to check out our website, ClassicChevyRevival.com, for further information. Like and subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate that. And until our next episode, keep the wheels turning and the passion burning. This is Kevin signing off from Classic Chevy Revival. And as always, let's continue to drive and revive together.